Okay, it's 9 o'clock on November 14th. We'll call the Floyd County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Our first item on our agenda is to approve our agenda.
I'll move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve our agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 2, public comment. Everybody's here for a reason, so. Item 3, review action regarding approval of October 24th and 30th, 2017 meeting minutes. Have those provided in your packet. I looked through them and they appear to be.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the minutes of October 24th and 30th.
I'll second it.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes of October 24th and the October 30th, 2017 meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 4, review action regarding approval of claims.
Didn't see anything and required further investigation. I'd move to approve the claims as presented.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the claims as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Item 5, review action regarding 2017 Weed Commissioners Report, which provided by Adam.
So is there any new ones added?
Looks like they're all putting them on. Board of Supervisors. Nobody there? Yeah, I guess I didn't talk to Adam about it then.
Well, the question was, how does the overall county weed situation compare with last year? It says unchanged, so.
That looks like $600 spent. It wasn't a big number. I don't see any changes. 3
Looks like
contacts for serve conflict lead notices. That moves to approve the report unless there's anything further that needs to be questioned.
All right, I'll second.
Okay, been moved and seconded to accept the 2017 Weed Commissioner's report. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Your signature, Amanda.
For 11/14. Thank you.
Item 6, review action regarding appointments to various boards and commissions. So we received a application yesterday for the compensation board.
Next one we need to make so they can attend the meeting, right?
Pretty quickly.
Which is real soon.
I read through this one and I approve appointing Cheryl Erb on the compensation board.
How long is the term on that?
4 years.
Okay. I'd second the motion.
Okay, been moved and seconded to appoint Cheryl Erb to the Floyd County Compensation Board. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're not at hearing date yet. We'll move down to item 9.
Wait a minute, we do have others.
Oh.
Just fax this morning.
Who?
Just
Did you get
faxed
them
in
back?
this morning, no.
You-
Oh,
So
did you?
this will be there.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
we had one.
It just came in.
Do you have it?
Yep,
Ben? Okay.
I do. Yep.
I didn't realize there was one here. Okay.
Well, I was hoping that we could look through it today.
This one would be to fill Bob Key's remaining term that ends December 31st, 2020.
I think you'd be a great fit.
I'd like to see the younger, families get involved in the county, so this one, encouraged me to.
Sometimes you
Start
feel like we
to-
pick on Ben a lot because he says yes, but so.
We had a lot of good questions on this one, he really wanted to make sure that he fully understood what the responsibilities were, so he said absolutely, he agreed running for this, so I would move to approve Ben Rottinghouse to fill Bob Key's position on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to appoint Ben Rottinghouse to the Planning and Zoning Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
And just a note, I did reach out to Rosemary Tobin and Dr. Lisa, is it Kapler, for the Board of Health. So I'm just in the process of waiting to hear back from them, whether they'll just agree to stay on in those positions.
Okay. Our hearing is at 9:15, so we gotta wait until that comes. Item 9, review action regarding health and dental plans as of 1/1/2018. This is what we talked about yesterday. Not sure we got any choices really to make as far as approving the plan.
So what I added to your what I emailed you yesterday and added to your packets today are a couple of, from yesterday's meeting, I gather your intentions are to keep your Delta Dental. So that one would be part of an action item today to continue with Delta Dental with the plan as is.
Okay.
The Walmart, the process with Walmart and Blue Cross Blue Shield would be, they gave you some continuing everything as is with a high deductible, 2,000 for single, 4,000 for family, and higher out of pocket. But they gave you another option if you wanted to raise those deductibles and partially self-fund that down to the same rate that employees have been used to, which is also, that's the 500 single, 1,000 family, 1,500 deductible, and then 1,500, 3,000 out of pocket. So that's kind of your choices that Wellmark needs to know the answer to. Do you, Wellmark and EBS, do you want to keep things as they are or go to that higher deductible option? So based on the numbers that they gave us, I filled out what I estimate our fund balance to be as of December 31st and what I believe their costs will be. There's so much that's unknown. I mean, there's fluidity with employees going on and off the plan, single versus family, switches back and forth, and new employees, changes, that type of thing. But then with this partially self-funding component, you have unknown costs. So I put together, what you had yesterday was keeping everything the same with the rate at $563 for a single and $1,493.50 for a family. And also gave you the high end, what Wellmark had, and then I pulled in for you the options of putting something in between there. Part of this is based on with, for example, when Holmes Murphy was here, they had estimated for the current year that partial self-funding component was going to be $50 per employee per month. But in reevaluating that, it's ended up $41 per employee per month for this year. So it's all a guessing game, that part of it. So I gave you some options in between there, if you think that maybe you want another option. So I redid sheets like this,
Right.
like you had yesterday, but you'll notice up in the top here, one of them has a 6.22% increase in the single premium, and the family premium increase of 6.19%. And if you recall, our overall increase with health insurance is 26%,
Right,
and we have a 4% increase in dental.
right.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. And then gave you another option that has a 14.74% increase in single and a 14.9% increase in family rates. So this sheet is the rates that so there's two parts to this. First you have to approve which plan you want to go with Walmart. And then because of open enrollment period, we need to have rates set for as well. But if you look at this sheet, I just summarized it here on this sheet with keeping, using the same Wellmark plan with the 2,000, 4,000 deductible, and keeping the premiums the same to the extreme of what Wellmark's, or Holmes Murphy's potential could be. But if you notice, see, the other thing that's odd with the way we do this is we have a plan here that starts January 1st, but our premiums don't start with what the employees pay for premiums starts July 1st, or what the county pays for premiums into the healthcare fund starts July 1st. So that's the other piece of this. And so if you notice on here, I've broken down, because we know we're only gonna get $563 for a single plan and $1493.50 from January through June.
Right.
So I've thrown that component in here.
Yeah, because that's important to keep in mind.
Right. So you're gonna have 6 months of higher premiums to pay Walmart and EBS and Delta Dental, but, so this shows you what I estimate your ending fund balance would be as of December 31st, 2018,
18, okay.
which is the plan year you're working with for
Right.
Walmart and EBS and Delta Dental right now. So in looking at that, if you kept everything the same, I estimate your ending fund balance would be $316,666 versus going with raising everything to what Walmart
Their second
suggests.
alternative.
Yeah, the 472,000. My thoughts is I do think we need to raise the premium for July 1. My hope is you wouldn't need to go as high as the 26.74% that is that option that they have out there.
It's quite a jump.
Or actually even, it's 29%, 29.41% on a single plan.
The family was 20.9.
Right, if you raise the premium but not the deductibles and out-of-pockets. I really think it's probably not a bad idea to switch to that higher deductible. I mean, a high deductible 2,000, 4,000 isn't that high of a deductible anymore for that. I mean, when you consider when we were when we were totally self-funded, we had we've gone from 50 to 100,000 with a stop loss policy. So that's kind of I look at that as somewhat as our stop loss, like we used to have when we were
Sure.
self-funded.
Right.
I don't
So,
see any savings that would really, you know, warrant that change. I mean, I don't see that that's gonna bring down the total much, changing that deductible. Show me that figure, would you?
so changing the deductible, for example, if you look right here, you've got keeping the deductible at the
Which
2,000,
one?
4,000. First column here, you've got the
Right.
deductible at 2,000, 4,000.
Right,
Where if you keep the premium the same, but you up the deductible, your difference is from 316,000 to 349,000.
Like I said, I don't see that as significant.
Well,
I
so
just
if you
assume-
want to look at the extremes, here's the difference from 316 to 472,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's 26% increase in the premium. I just don't see that statement as enough to justify the change in the deductible. I just assume keep the deductible.
keep it as is.
And raise it, you can raise the premium if we need to a little bit, but not change that deductible. I don't see that being a difference that's gonna matter.
Yeah, if you look at your chart, it's just to look at the page that EBS showed you, or Holmes Murphy showed you with that, was this, 26% to 23%. So, but again, it's all a guess. It's how
It
many
is a
claims you're gonna
guess.
have for the partially self-funded component of it.
I mean, I go with, like Supervisor Kuhn said, keep the deductible, but I also look at, a lot of people out there are realizing, the insurance is changing. And,
And the deductible to the
It's-
employee is still the same. That's still the 500,000. That's still the same to the employee with these. It's just partially self-funding. So if you,
Right.
if that's what you're thinking, Mark, then raising the premium would be the other three options across here. Unless you think a $316,000 estimated fund balance is sufficient. An estimated, again,
Well,
that's all.
yesterday we did kind of try to put a number on that. And we saw the history of it at one time, it was practically nothing. And at one time it's been over $1 million.
And 1.3 million.
Right.
So it's a kind of a moving target. It's just $316,000 is probably more than adequate. It's just how you want to, what you want to estimate your end up on.
Yeah, the difference between the column with the same well-marked deductible and the column that has upping that from that 316 to the 349 would be checks that you would issue through partially self-funding. So you'd be issuing those differences in checks here rather than Walmart paying the bills if they hit that 2,000. It's the 2,000 to 3,000
Right.
part of the deductible.
Right.
And the single out-of-pocket maximum going from 3,000, or excuse me, 3,000 to 6,000. 4,000 to 6,000.
Wait.
The out-of-pocket, what they proposed. And what they proposed was going from, currently you have a deductible of 2,000 single, 4,000 family, and out of pocket of 4,000 single, 8,000 family. And what they proposed is for a single, instead of 2,000, going to 3,000 on a single plan, on a family going from 4,000 to 6,000 on deductible, and on the out-of-pocket going from, on a single plan, 4,000 to 6,000, and on a family plan from 8,000 to 12,000. So that difference is estimated, is the 316,000 ending fund balance to the 349,000 ending fund balance. Because you're paying that difference instead of Walmart covering it.
one.
Do you wanna ponder it and open your hearing for
Yeah,
lunch
that's
so
what I
we can
was-
go?
We do have
Wanna
it
think
there.
about that a while?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll table that one for a short moment, and we'll move to item 7. And we'll now declare the public hearing open regarding Lonnie West's application to rezone 3.99 acres from ag to R1 in a legal description for the purpose of erecting a single-family dwelling and application for a minor subdivision plat for the same. So Leslie, you wanna give us some background?
He's just, like you said, splitting off 3.99 acres. We had a zoning hearing to rezone it and to approve a minor subdivision. The zoning commission recommends to approve both the rezoning and the minor subdivision. Lonnie stated in that hearing that the only reason he is rezoning that 3.99 is for financial, so the bank requires it. And then in the future, he does have plans to possibly move it back to the same as the rest.
Piece again.
So there will be no other buildings or whatnot except his house and a garage or a shed. I did misunderstand the land division review form. I held on to it, so it is within 2 miles of the city limits. The review form has not gone to the city yet, however, I have talked to John Fallis just now, and he said to send it over to him. I scanned it and sent him to it and explained to him on the phone, and he said it doesn't sound like anything, that's gonna get snagged, but I haven't gotten anything back from him yet as far as approval or denial or signature, so.
So has there been any comments for and
Any
against
concerns
from
or neighbors?
public or anything?
I've received no written or oral comments about it.
We had one come to the zoning hearing, and that was Hawkeye Mold. He was just concerned that since that was a residential property right there, right across the street, that either Lonnie would have problems with the noise, or then that would automatically disqualify him, the business, to expand in the future. And we let him know that the normal process, Lonnie, where he's at currently at his house, would have already been in that 500 feet radius, so he would have already been part of the
The
objective.
issue, if there was a problem,
Yep.
you'd know it.
So he was fine with it, he just wanted to make sure that Lonnie was aware of, what they do over there as a business
Is
anyways.
Hawkeye Mold and Tool presently zoned commercial? or
Industrial.
business
They're currently industrial, so.
And actually, they're not that loud. I mean, you hear a fan run out of them, that's it.
So their biggest concern is if they expand.
You're not
That
much
it could
farther
get-
from them.
No,
You're not
I,
much farther from them.
Steve thought that because of Lonnie having the residential zone right there, that would automatically disqualify him
Got it.
from expanding,
From
but
expanding,
it does not.
okay.
So
Alright.
he just wanted to make sure that everything was kosher before coming to voice his concerns, so, which he did.
Any more comments?
No, I think the only issues just lie with some loose ends that haven't been completed with the process.
And that's the notified city because it's within
The city, and then we're
This
missing a
subdivision.
subdivision plat, the final plat of the subdivision. I did talk with Lonnie's surveyor, so he knows what the expectation is. Lonnie has picked a name as West Edition, so that subdivision plat will say that it's West Subdivision. And is everything else on the checklist, recorders and?
It's just on the recorder's checklist, there's a couple things that I'll need to get from Lonnie, the mortgage holder lien, and then the release of mortgage or lien area, and an attorney opinion.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, I'll declare the hearing closed, and we'll move to item 8, which is review action regarding the resolution of Lonnie West application to rezone 3.99 acres from ag to R1 in east half of the northeast quarter, section 29, T95R15 for the purpose of erecting a single-family dwelling and application for a minor subdivision plat for the same.
This is where you have your resolution, and this is your public hearing as well as your first reading of the changes, and this is where you check the boxes on what all applies on there.
Yep.
If some of those details aren't complete yet regarding the city possibly wanting to comment on this, sounds like you've got a little work to do though. You've got a few other things.
Yep, just a few
Title
other
opinion,
documents that we
you've
need to get together. And then, like Gloria said, the surveyor, he's not familiar with how Floyd has run it, so, and I wasn't aware of that either. So, that, and then the city as well. John said on the phone that he didn't think that it was a big problem, and it's only within 2 miles because the city limits come down at the very end, and the 2 miles like barely cuts into that corner, so.
Kind of more as a crow flies, like the 2 miles to
Yeah. So,
Right.
within the city limits, not as you drive it, but
no.
as a crow flies.
You're trying to get a foundation in this fall yet, Lonnie?
Yeah,
Trying
is
to
there
do
a
that?
timeline?
Foundation is in,
I see.
walls are up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't aware of that
The,
procedure.
when we originally started this, I wasn't aware that we even had to get it surveyed, and then talking with Jeff. Well, then I needed to I can't afford to pay for the whole thing, so went to the bank, and the bank required me to get parcel off anything under 10 acres, so it wasn't considered ag, to get it on the secondary market. And that's the only reason that we are going through this, is so I can get it on the secondary market. If I was very wealthy and could just pay cash for it, I wouldn't have to do none of this.
Doggone it.
We thought you
We
would.
could all say that, huh?
Yeah.
Would it be in order then to approve the zoning change and the subdivision and the first reading and schedule a second reading? And get the
Give them
needed
time.
information before it's finally approved?
Yeah, I feel bad for Lonnie, but I don't know how you could do it any differently.
That's fine, thank
That's another
Yeah, there's a
one,
lot
too.
of loose
And
ends that need to be
hopefully
cleaned
John
up.
won't take too long to.
And the surveyor one, it should be an easy thing.
The
for
surveyor's
surveyor
just
to do.
actually rewording it.
Yeah, it's just, what he did was what he needed to do for
Yeah.
the lot size. That's what the bank needs, is that part of it.
you. I see.
The bank probably could care less about the subdivision part of it.
No, but I've gotta have an abstract created and all that, and a title opinion done for the bank.
Mhm.
Okay.
Alright.
But the land division review process does require the cities to, it's just, it's unfortunate.
How long before we can have the second reading?
Well, if you do it on your regular meeting, it
November
would be 2 weeks from
28th.
today.
Yeah.
And I'm kinda needing to get some finances here like really shortly.
That's what I was wondering. What's the time constraint between the first and the second?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Like, could they do one next
When
week?
is the next time that we could actually have is it 7 days, is it 14 days?
Oh, there's
between-
no, there's
For a second
just
reading.
24-hour notice publication. Other than
So-
when you do your resolution. you set-
What I'm saying is if you can get the paperwork done, then we can have a special meeting, do a second reading on next week. Do we have to publish or anything?
No, just agendas. because you've had your hearing, you've had your hearing today, so that's what requires the publications.
Okay.
If you think the surveyor would have I don't know what else you're missing, but if the city and the surveyor could get their part done.
That's what I'm saying, if you could get it done, we could make a special meeting next Monday at a workshop and do it then, if you can get things together that fast. Otherwise, it would be 2 weeks until our next regular meeting.
And we are meeting Monday, you know, because I've already got the law enforcement center discussion on Monday's workshop. So we're already planning on meeting. So
So
that's
it-
true, we could hold it Monday.
It's just a matter of changing it to a special meeting, and if we, you know, if we can get that stuff done, and then you'd have it.
And if they don't have the needed information by the second meeting, we just have the third reading.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
have
There you
as many
go.
readings as you need to.
Exactly.
Right, yeah,
right?
Plan?
Okay,
sounds good.
Okay,
that's about as fast as we can move.
ready for that motion? So we get, let's see here, that's on everything. We got this.
We're
Two,
trying.
both the subdivision and the zoning change
Yeah,
contained
yeah, but I've got them both on
in
the
this
list.
resolution, okay.
So you'll just check with the,
All right, I'd move to approve resolution 37-17, zoning change and minor subdivision with Lonnie West, approving the first reading of the application to rezone and setting the date for the second reading for
The 20th.
November 20th. And
you don't need to say it.
okay, for our special meeting to be held on Monday, November 20th, and the minor subdivision, approving the first reading of the application for a minor subdivision and setting the date for the second reading and review for the same date on Monday, November 20th.
All right, I'll second that.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 37-17 containing all the words that Mark just said, so I don't have to repeat the whole entire thing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Okay.
So,
All right.
hopefully we can get all that by
Okay, awesome,
Thanks,
next Monday.
Lonnie.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now that you've had a minute of quiet time,
Yeah, all right.
we'll move back to insurance and get that thing figured out.
So retaining the same premium and just changing the deductibles only really affects, I mean, because we can buy it down to 500 and 1,000 anyway. So it's really
Through the self-fund.
through the self-funded.
Self-funding.
Yeah, not sure why there's that difference, such a difference, but I guess the premise is they don't assume that there's going to be as many people hitting.
I think there's some other
6,000.
fine print in there. I talked to Mark a little bit. There's some other things that they put in there. There must be some services in there that aren't real common that are included in that maybe.
Oh, so they're making some assumptions there
Yeah.
that we're probably not gonna be hit with some of them.
I think those assumptions are that they don't think as many people are going to hit the 3,000 or 6,000 deductible and the 6,000 or 12,000 out of pocket. So that's why that portion is smaller and
Yeah.
less, so it's just who's doing the processing.
Mhm.
In that, it looks like EBS costs a little less to do the processing on that
Mm.
higher side.
So I guess the question could be is the estimate of the ending fund balances, are we comfortable with those numbers? Look at it from that way. It's a difference of what, 316 versus 349, so.
And then, but just also keep in mind that these premiums that you said are, because of the fiscal year that we do, the collection side of premiums from either employees or the county's share,
Mhm.
you're still gonna have these rates for the following, the second half of the
Second
fiscal
half.
year.
from July through
And
December.
so pending what happens in a year from now, when we're at the table doing this,
Mhm.
we've not had any experience with rates going down. So
No,
you're gonna have another 6 months of,
I don't
If
think
rates
there's
go up.
anybody in this room who's can predict what's gonna happen with
Yeah.
healthcare in the next year. Holy
for sure.
cow.
this 26,
Yeah.
or, well, it was 29% with Walmart and 24, whatever it was, with EBS increases are, we're not projected.
Well, so how do you wanna go at it? You wanna pick out a fund balance or you wanna pick out a deductible?
We want to raise that premium or leave it same. I think maybe that's a good place to
That's
start
it, yeah.
from. Because some of these are a little bit unknown, like the fund balances, we don't know where that's gonna go, so maybe that would be a first step.
Well, we're on 9, which is regarding health and dental plans. And
Yeah, so that one would
the
be.
next item is the premiums.
Yeah, so that would be, which product from Walmart do you want?
Oh,
Do
Yeah.
you want?
Yeah, for this one, we
Same
just need to
plan.
pick out the product we want.
Yeah, and Delta Dental for your dental
Which we
provider.
talked about.
Okay.
I would probably suggest that you do, if you want to keep the deductibles the same, I would maybe either raise the premium to the $598 or the $646 for single. And we haven't had we've been at $563 for a single plan for something like 8 years, I believe, something like that. It served us well.
And I'd be comfortable with either one of those. Can't hide it.
You know, we can.
It's a real cost.
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
I agree.
So really, we're picking the fund balance.
This was just projected out their numbers is all that I did, so again, it's subjected to.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna say, my recommendation is to go with the third column. Same deductible, raise the premium to single 646, family 1716.
Before you made a motion, would you consider the raising it to 6.2% one in the second one?
The second one instead of third.
Okay. As I said, that's what I would think, but I didn't make a motion.
No, I was just trying to indicate some support for some increase, 6%.
I think that'd be healthy.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to go ahead and select raising, or keeping a single plan, raising it 6.22%. Family would
If you
be,
could-
or how do we want to say it?
Yeah, the premiums would be the next part, and I want you to look at the other sheet for the premium, but continue with the same plan with
Okay,
Walmart, EBS, and Delta.
okay. All right.
is that your motion?
That would be my motion.
Okay, second.
Okay, then moved and seconded to leave our Walmart, EBS,
Okay.
and Delta Dental at the same as they have been in the past. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Now, we go to item 10, review action regarding employee and employer health dental premiums as of 7/1/2018. So now we're picking the column.
Yes.
Okay, I'd move to pick second column, increasing the single plan by 6.2%, and definitive plan 6.19.
Anything else?
If you're okay with me putting those dollar amounts for those plans in there, appreciate that too. I can just add that to what we.
Sure.
mentioned.
And I'll second.
And then seconded to raise our, establish our premiums as per the second column, which is 6.2% and 6.19 for, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Major.
This is just a prelude to the budget thing coming up where these numbers just start swimming in your head. All right, item 11, review action regarding the abatement of property taxes / interest / penalty on partial 0910378000800 for a mobile home in the name of Connie Jo Graham on Balboa Avenue. Is that what that,
Where you at? Building, below
Balboa?
that. Building on land owned by another, below that.
Oh,
You've seen
okay.
that.
I
That's
think
the
I've never been on that road before.
All of the notices for those. Yes, that's how they're taxed, building on land.
I thought I knew Floyd County, I didn't know where that one was. Building on land owned by another, in the name of John Van Leary, that was removed on 9/28/2016. And Gloria and I talked a little bit, this was something that was moved, but a tax statement was generated. But the mobile home was actually moved before,
Yeah, you
on
actually,
this date.
you
So
actually have a letter from Gary and a letter from Frank on the same request to remove it. Gary's letter explains
I should have read the
that
letter.
it was, Gary explains that it was removed in September 2016. They changed it on one part of their software, but not the other part that kicks it over to the auditor side and the treasurer side to generate tax statements. They have some differences in the dates when it was, junking, Frank's got a junking certificate was issued in July of 2016, regardless, same year. So the amount that you would be abating would be $140.
$136.
There again, maybe we should have Frank come in, one of them has 136, the other
One
one
says
has
140.
140.
Yeah,
Differences.
yeah.
Or your motion could just be to abate the taxes, interest, and penalties on, and not identifying.
Sounds like it's a mistake that was made in the office that just needs to be corrected. Oversight. Didn't get things completed. So I move to abate property tax, interest, and penalty on the parcel number 0910378000800.
And I'll second.
Okay, and moved and seconded to abate property taxes, interest, and penalty on the sole name partial. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 13, review action authorizing a transfer of funds from our farm to market account to the IDOT account for materials inspection costs for the project BRS-CO34 /93/-60-34. And you can tell I work for the DOT, because if you don't do that exactly like that,
This
it will
is
not get paperwork processed. Oops.
This is for the bridge project that was west of Rudd on the hard surface road that was completed over a year ago. And basically what this is anytime they do, the DOT does their quality control, quality assurance stuff, they get paid by us to do the work because they're monitoring our projects. And all this is just a transfer, nothing local dollars, it's my farm to market account. And so then I just, basically with this authorization, I don't know why we have it on the agenda other than we're overseeing and the board approves that the farm to market account will cover the cost. And it's $1,143.96, and that's just for the different testing, which becomes down to sieve analysis, abrasion tests on basically the rocks, Portland cement tests, reinforcing steel. They do all their testing on it. So all that is just authorization for the transfer from our farm market account into pay them for their testing that they did, which is required by them to do, but we have to pay them for doing their job, I guess. So that's a good way to say it.
So you need us to approve
Yes,
that.
the transfer, yes.
Your transfer.
Yes. So I'd recommend approving that. It's a formality. We've agreed that the project's been done for over a year. It's just their paperwork is typically about a year behind, and it's only the ones that are federal aid, so on farm market roads.
Well, I will move to approve then the transfer of funds from the farm to market account to the IDOT account for the information listed on the form.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the transfer of $1,143.96 for farm to market account to the IDOT account for the material inspection cost. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. You want me to sign that?
Yes, please. I already did it.
I'll pass them down.
Thank you.
Okay, item 14, discussion with county engineer about secondary road activities.
Well,
Before we start, I had a guy tell me last night he built a beautiful road.
it's closed yet. Why is he driving on it?
You can ask him, I'll give you his name. He said it was great. Used it last night, as a matter of fact, on the way to the meeting.
There's, T26 north of Marble Rock, that's 6 miles. Basically, the last thing they finished up shouldering towards the end of the week last week. They came up, I think, yesterday and did a little bit of the punch list items. It was just small things of concrete laying around, little pieces of that they had to clean up. There was some rutting happening on some of the edges when they were trying to shape the shoulders a little bit, so they corrected that. And it's been since seeded. I mean, some of those messed up areas we seeded ourselves because it was basically the whole project has already been completed. So pavement markings should happen. I would guess it won't happen today because of the moisture. They may come clean off where the pavement markings go. Today they water blast that, and then I'm thinking either tomorrow or Thursday will be pavement markings, depending on the temperature and the sunny and no rain. And I'd like to say that it's going to be open by the weekend. If I just say the weekend, it could be next weekend, the week after. I don't know. No, but that's the last thing to be done. Basically, is the pavement markings. So our guys we took down all the other signs along the edge of the road and the mailboxes. We're down to there's last couple mailboxes at the north end to replace with our guys, and there's only about 5 or 6 signs to still replace. That will happen by Wednesday, Thursday also. And I would say by the weekend that road is open. Pulling down detour signs and all that fun stuff. So there's 100 working days on that project, and as of through Friday, there was 95.5 working days used. So we have 4.5 days, and basically with the rain today, probably won't get charged today. So they'll be within their time constraint that was allowed on the project too, which is good. And I agree. It's a lot better than the old road was. I remember a couple years ago when we went meet with Farm Bureau, me and you, and everybody saying, when are you gonna get that road done? And I was saying about 2 months ago, I cannot wait till that road is done. So I would say by this weekend, I'll just say by the weekend just in case. Pavement markings is the last thing, and once that's in, then we're good to go. So
Every single project like that, you always get down to this, and it's frustrating while it's going on, but it sure is nice when it's done.
yeah. I think everybody, even that we're out there that live along there, we're saying it's been a long summer. I said, yeah, it has, but you'll glorify gravel road to the point when you see the final product now, which is I think really good. I know they submitted it for some awards, and we'll see what happens when that comes around. So hopefully we'll get something on that too. So
Good.
So yes, end of this week I'll be happy. I'm already happy because people are, like I said, driving on it now. I'm hoping they stay off of it when they paint it, because it takes a few hours for that pavement marking to dry. I'd hate to have a brand new road and all of a sudden people are passing each other and there's yellow lines everywhere from tires running over it. So, but yeah, that'll be open this week. That's great. Other projects, let's see. Wrapping up with our day labor projects, basically we had a box culvert up there on 170th, right behind Chuck Frankie's house. Actually, we replaced that little structure there, that little bridge. We probably got about 2 or 3 crossroad culverts to wrap up this week. But they were digging last week and there was 10 inches of frost in the ground in that spot, so 6 to 10 inches. So we're basically, this will probably be the last week of doing any major pipe work or culvert work. We're caught up pretty good. I mean, we fared pretty good comparatively. Chickasaw County had a little more damage again from floods this year, so I'm behind a little bit over there, but here it's been not bad.
Is that the one that has the short little wall, bridge or abutment or whatever?
Which one? Where?
The day labor project we did by Frankie's? There's
Uh-huh.
a short little concrete wall that sticks up on the edge.
It may have a retaining thing on the edge, I'm not sure. Because they just set that last week and they were supposed to be getting to it this week.
And that's
On the
why the
north side
road
of the
closed
river, isn't it?
sign was there.
Could have been, yeah.
There was a road closed.
It's right by his,
sign.
it's just east of his house.
I
For him to
wondered
get to
what
the
that
end
was.
where the
Yeah.
cattle are, we built a driveway and runaround for him on his property.
Yeah.
But so, everything's submitted, good to go. Signed project documents for the quarry road north of the ethanol plant. That one will be scheduled for let in January, and whatever, all the documents, ducks in a row, so we'll be letting that, and we'll see where our numbers come back on that one too. And that is a total regrade similar to what we just did on Marble Rock Road. We get 5-6 foot shoulders. Thing I tried to do is eliminate the guardrail at that Tin Whistle culvert bridge, whatever you want to call it there, by Stewart. And it was too hard. It would have cost us to extend that culvert out. You know, we're going to run about $80,000 there, and so to me, we're just going to install guardrail, which you have that. So, but that's scheduled to go that route. We're working through final detail with Valero at that point about just a little bit of right of way right at the entryway for the couple pine trees where the county home used to be. But basically, that's all ready to go there too. So that's good there. Final plans, submittals should be coming up. Check plans were submitted for our bridge on 170th, which I call up by Chuck Frankie's, the major one, the whole realignment and all that fun stuff. All our ducks are in a row for that one too. That'll be February now. So, yep, and then that'll be constructed next summer.
So does the county get involved with, and I'm sure there's a term for it, down there by Bodie's place where they went in, it says that bridge is closed, that the Mennonites created like
I don't get involved at all. No.
I know that there was some talk, he was getting a deed.
The Martin basically was,
Yeah,
he's getting
Martin,
approvals to
right.
get,
I just
build
didn't
his
know
own
if the county
structure
has
across.
anything to do with that, or,
No.
okay, they do it on their own.
Yep, he basically goes to the
Okay.
DNR and does it's a private structure on his own property and.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I
And
was
you talk
just
about that,
curious.
because we talked about maybe replacing or not, and then we've got that total realignment would just be a major cost, so. That might be a bridge that I said never gets put back in place. But yeah, right, that's all his,
I mean,
he's
it
talked to
sounds
me
like it's
about it and stuff
working
like
for
that,
him.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of private property, private structure, private whatever across it, so as long as he works with the DNR and
Yeah,
the Corps if needed, then
okay.
jump through hoops, then he
Where's
should.
that going to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
I said, I know it's working for him, so.
yeah. So we'll have our projects lined up for next year, we start working on budget stuff, and then what our day labor projects will be next summer too, not quite sure yet, we'll go through those things as budget kind of progresses here.
Keep the winter weather at bay.
Yeah. We had a sander out in Chickasaw in the north end of the county Saturday, there was a little bit of ice up there,
Yeah. Hmm.
didn't have anything over here.
So from past, I mean, isn't this early when you talk about how much frost is already in the ground? Is this,
It seemed like it, because I was
Really?
expecting a nice, a week of halfway warm weather,
yeah,
but that really didn't happen. Because I was gonna do stuff around my house, I'm like, yeah, where the heck is all this warm weather supposed to
it
be
might be
coming in?
this
It
week,
didn't.
is it?
Yeah, that's might be a day or two there, but yeah, I don't know, it seems weird and that it's already that deep usually.
Mhm.
Of course, we've been fortunate the last several years, where it's been warm up until
Right.
get into December almost,
Mhm.
so. I don't know if you guys got anything else for me, but projects will be lined up, and then, wrapping up the last bit of mowing on the gravels. Pulling in rock the last little bit, but like I said, once it starts freezing up here, we gotta make sure we're good to go for winter, so.
We have our District 2 Supervisors meeting coming up, and so.
Working on your report, that's December 7th, correct?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so working on that, yeah. Knew that was coming up shortly, so. Get some good pictures in there, it's always good to have pictures.
Good.
Chickasaw never had pictures, that's always just line items, and we'll get you guys something. I'll probably get it to you, just that, what is that, December 7th, right?
It's a Thursday.
So that Monday or Tuesday, actually I'll be out of town, my engineers conference is in Ames that week, so probably that Monday, I split that day, I'll make sure it's all ready by then and get it up. I'll probably just put it in your inboxes, is that okay? That way you guys have them here before then, you can always grab them.
Great.
You can just leave them down there, I'll stop and pick them up.
Okay. We'll have them ready for that, we'll have them ready that Monday, just put it that way you guys can get them any day before then.
Make
Yeah, I'll
copies
just
do
pick
you
them up and
need?
take them to the
Yeah.
thing.
There's quite a few copies that have to be made, isn't there?
I don't even know how many you guys use. I think in the
Sometimes,
past,
yeah.
we've made some, and then I don't know if you guys make your own copies or we make a bunch of them. I can make whatever. I just send a bill to Gloria, so.
If you would ever make 20, I think that's.
Okay,
I mean, there was that at least.
yeah, okay.
Stan wanted me to remind you that he wants that road done in concrete up there.
Who?
Stan.
I know. Yeah.
This is Stan Walker talking about T-3081.
P38, the Osage Road, and to me, it's.
They wanna go
it's-
from the Mensah line to.
There's a time and place for both in my thought process, and to me, that one, it doesn't have to be. You know, we've done concrete over some of these roads, and to me, there was concrete below. You had asphalt overlay, and then that rough, what's pushing up through the top. I mean, to me, those white toppings don't make sense. Here, that is an asphalt-only road. It's not really doing anything crazy, so to me, it's going to be this new asphalt interlayer, which is basically they pour it out of the truck. It's really weird, this new design that the Asphalt Paving Association has come up with, and it's basically a rubberized asphalt, and any reflective cracking has basically been limited to 0, which typically never used to happen. And then you just go over top with that with either 1.5 inches to maybe I'd say 2.5, 3 inches of other regular asphalt on top of that. But I know they're concrete up there in different spots, and sometimes it makes sense. But you get up into Mitchell County and you have all concrete going north.
Mm-hmm.
Here we don't. We have asphalt until the last quarter mile. So there's a time and place
You
for
just
both.
wanted me to remind you.
I know.
Get that plug in.
I yelled at the county engineer on that one already. I said, I gotta talk to you. But, I got nothing else. You guys got anything, get hold of me when you can. I'll be around. So,
Okay.
With
thanks.
that, I'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
Thanks, Dusty.
We are adjourned.